Now we will all listen to the message from our President, Stephen Moelis.
Good Yom Tov. When I started as HERJC president 2 years ago, I wrote members about the story of the new synagogue president who's handed 3 envelopes by the outgoing president with instructions to open each envelope during a crisis. When membership declines, the president opens the first envelope. Blame your predecessor, it says. The advice pays off and the president avoids any criticism. When revenues plummet, the president opens the second envelope. Call for a top-down review, it says. Again, the president avoids any criticism. When the synagogue's roof falls in and the trustees threaten to resign, the president opens the last envelope in which is written the following words: prepare 3 envelopes. When I began as president, I promised I would neither blame my predecessor nor shun the responsibility of facing challenging times. And while my tenure still has 1 year remaining, I would like to share with you the 3 envelopes I have begun to prepare for my successor. Envelope number 1 states, nothing gets done without exceptional professionals. HERJC is so fortunate to have its professional staff. From the moment Rabbi Schlesinger arrived at HERJC, he has created an atmosphere of inclusiveness, warmth, humor, intelligence, and optimism for HERJC's future. Taking over for a respected rabbi is never easy, and yet Rabbi Schlesinger has done so in a way that has seamlessly endeared him to our community. From the uncertainty of an interim rabbi through the period of COVID, Hazan Zakarin has shared her enthusiasm and upbeat disposition with us all. We have shared her love of music, her willingness to take on new challenges, and her professional growth as HERJC's religious school director. Welcoming change is never easy, and yet Hazan Zakarin has embraced new ways of thinking to connect to congregants. Since Lisa Stein began as HERJC's executive director, I've said, thank God for bringing this person to our synagogue. Lisa's talents, humility, sensitivity, and earnest affinity for HERJC has already been keenly felt by members. Learning a new system is never easy, and yet I look forward to working with Lisa as my executive partner every day. From the time Cheryl Karp began her time as the director of our Early Childhood Center to her 30th anniversary celebrated last year, Cheryl continues to teach our youngest what it means to be kind, inclusive, and inquisitive. Continuing to exhibit the same energy every year is not easy, and yet Cheryl's school matches her personality, nurturing, loving, and filled with the awe of each new adventure. And from the time he began as HERJC's head of maintenance, James Reynolds has treated our building and our members as his own home and family. Working silently in the wings is never easy, and yet James does so with the care and love for the synagogue he maintains. It is easy to overlook the work these individuals and their teams do. Don't. Let each of them know, not only Rabbi, Hazan, Cheryl, Lisa, and James, but also Betsy, Jeanette, Stephanie, Rebecca, Nefa, Joseph, Bernard, and the host of superb teachers, that they are not taken for granted and that we are thankful for their commitment and dedication. Envelope number 2 states, you are only as good as the people with whom you serve. Whatever you think a president can accomplish, over 150 HERJC volunteers truly deserve the credit for what our synagogue accomplishes on a daily basis. From our executive team and board of directors to the members of our ritual, education, house, finance, and Ruach committees. From our millionaires to sisterhood, from our mitzvah garden horticulturalists to our gala coordinators, from our patrons and endowment trustees to the honors committee and ushers helping us observe the holidays today and tomorrow and next week. And finally, to those members who devote themselves to family engagement, adult education, security, grant writing, COVID protocols, our Hakol magazine, catering, and communications. These are the people who deserve my and your thanks. Envelope number 3 is the most important one of all. It states, never become complacent. 2 years ago, I spoke about the importance of stepping back to see how far we've climbed. Sharing with you what has been achieved is essential, not for personal or collective vanity, rather to properly assess what must and can still be achieved. Since 2021, HERJC has added 72 families to our membership, including young families with children, former members who have come back, and individuals for whom HERJC offers a vibrancy and enthusiasm no longer found at many shuls. Over the last 2 years, HERJC has raised over $840,000 from 32 families toward a long-term sustainable endowment fund, built the Baradkin Simcha early childhood playground, opened our outdoor Simcha patio, and received recently $200,000 in grants from New York to make our building more secure. Following COVID, we held monthly Kabbalat, Shabbat community services and dinners that regularly drew over 170 congregants to welcome in the Sabbath and to share a meal. We expanded enrollment in our early childhood center and religious school, increased the number of families who call themselves Harry Castle patrons, created new social events like our Sushi in the Sukkah, Lag BaOmer bonfire, and Passover Second Seder events that appeal to wide swaths of members, and redesigned HERJC's website. In all, we cemented HERJC's place as one of the marquee egalitarian conservative shuls in all of Long Island. All these achievements should make us feel satisfied, but they must never make us feel complacent. Those who came before me did an incredible job of maintaining HERJC's vitality. Today, some might see our goal as surviving so that we can be the last synagogue standing. However, I urge you not to settle for that path forward. What the last 2 years have demonstrated to me is that we must not merely survive, but thrive. Our goal should be to be the last synagogue dancing. That challenge, that goal, will not be due to just our professionals or our volunteers, or to the intensity of the desire to achieve new heights. Simply put, HERJC's remarkable success is not because of the 3 envelopes I set aside, but rather because of the 4th envelope you dare to write. That daring depends on each of us to attract new members, to expand what we offer as a synagogue, and most importantly, to provide for HERJC's financial growth and stability. The actual cost of HERJC membership is $4,000 per family. $4,000 enables Rabbi Schlesinger and Chazan Zakarin to celebrate with us on the birth of a new baby or to comfort us when we lose a loved one. It allows us to offer our children a stellar religious education, to hold daily minyan and Shabbat services, and to commemorate the festivals and holidays together. It supports our efforts to coordinate adult educational programs, to maintain our facility, to provide for the security and health of our congregants, to fix that which needs repair, and to provide for those for whom the cost of membership is truly a burden. $4,000 enables each of us to come together at the water's edge on Tashlich, to throw away our sins, and spend the ensuing 12 months praying, studying, celebrating, mourning, and eating together as a Jewish community. Still, current membership dues, even after a modest increase following a 3-year freeze, account for just 1/3 of HERJC's operating income. Ultimately, we rely on members whose generosity enables HERJC to continue to remain vibrant and offer what it does to our community. So I offer this challenge to you for the coming year. In 2024, HERJC will celebrate its 75th anniversary. Therefore, let us collectively make 5,784 a year for HERJC to financially thrive as never before. Perhaps increase your overall monetary contribution to HERJC by 18%, or become a patron. Perhaps double your Kol Nidre pledge or sponsor a Shabbat Kiddush. Perhaps join our endowment tree, buy a Purim banner, or pay for someone who cannot afford to come to an event to do so. Do not let the aura of success prevent you from continuing to make a difference. Do not let the feeling of our collective accomplishments over the last 2 years serve as an excuse not to do more. Choose the words you want read in that 4th envelope and make them a reality. The HERJC community begins with each of us and all of us. And so I look forward to the final year of my presidency with the hope and expectation that we will continue our journey together as a community and that HERJC will thrive as never before for our efforts. May you and your families be written in the book of life for a sweet and healthy 5784. And may we enjoy dancing together in the new year to come. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Stephen, thank you so much. Just a moment here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your dedication to this congregation. This is really amazing. If it wasn't for you, you know, my family and I wouldn't be here. You were the one who brought us to this community, and you then taught me with your lengthy emails. Now I found a tool in ChatGPT that summarizes. And now I'm leading much better with our emails. You once taught me the meaning of a monkey rope, right? And said that you and I, as president and rabbi, are connected. So I'll be happy to start talking about our extension after the holidays.